Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter and welcome to my guide about Kinsects. These are the bugs that come with each individual insect glaive that you purchase from the smithy. In this guide, I'm going to show you how they've improved the system for Monster Hunter for Ultimate, how it works, and ultimately, which is the Kinsect that you want to make. Don't worry, it's a lot more simple than it was in Monster Hunter for Ultimate, and I'll show you why. First things first, we have to have Nectar in order to feed and level up our Kinsects. You can get these in the game from quest rewards or from mining different spots like this. They look like colorful little plants that might have tropical fruit. If you go ahead and look at these things, you'll gather nectars. Of course, this is a long and tedious way to do it. There's a much better, easier way. Once you start progressing in the village, you unlock the ability to trade for them. Let's go ahead and do that now. So we're going to go ahead and go to the trader here. I feel bad I almost never talk to this cat. I'm always using my room service. And if you go down here to the top option, you have the increase items. Then you put in a request and go ahead and put in a request for the bug type. And then you'll notice here on page 2 all the different types of nectars. Now you can ignore all of these. These are all elemental ones and we'll touch on that at the very end of this video. But what we care about is upgrading and leveling up our Kinsect, which is these three right here. It's very simple. There's only three types. There's power, which raises your power. There's weight, which raises your weight or stamina. And then there's speed. Go ahead and put in the requests and they will go ahead and multiply and make lots of them. Now one cool thing is if you're doing either high rank gathering on maps or if you're doing the trader, you do have the opportunity every now and then to get what I call the super boost or the ultra boost extract. Now what that allows you to do is you mix it with the nectar that you have. Here we go. You mix this one, this red item is the super extract. You mix that with a normal power nectar and you get a high grade. And this is worth 5 regular power ones. So it's not something that you can't do without the regular one. It just makes it a lot faster. So this is worth 5, and then if you get the blue ultra extract, you can mix that in with the different nectars to make the super high grade nectars. These are worth 10 regular ones. So I've already made a few, so let me go over now and show you how the upgrading is done. It's actually very simple. Now in order to upgrade, we are going to need a glaive, so let's go ahead and just go buy any old glaive. Now one really nice change that they've made for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is that instead of your Kinsect and your glaive leveling up together, they're now completely separate, which means you can have a max level glaive without even touching your Kinsect and vice versa. This really allows you to customize your bugs earlier on, and really I like it a lot. It's just stress free. So when you go up to the smithy and you go to upgrade, you have 3 options. The top one here is to upgrade your weapon. The second one is to upgrade your Kinsect, and in order to get that to work, you need to feed it, which is this third option. For example, if we go to upgrade it right now, you'll notice that it's all grayed out. You have to feed your Kinsect enough to level up its stats 3 times, and then you need to then level up your bug. So we'll go over here, and this is the screen for feeding it. The top option is the growth nectar, which is what we care about. And the second option is for elemental stuff, which we'll cover at the end. So we're going to go ahead and choose this top option. You'll see our 3 nectars right up here. Now 1 nectar is worth 1 point. So if you notice here, we have power at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once you put in 10 points of nectar, that stat goes up 1 level. Once we've done this 3 times, then we'll need to level up our actual insect in order to then continue feeding it. Now again, a power regular one is worth 1 unit. The high grade is worth 5 units, and the super high grade is worth 10 units. So it does make it a lot faster, but it's not that necessary, especially because you can farm for these things. So it doesn't matter what you put into it for the first few levels. Go ahead and do whatever you like. What I highly recommend early in the game is that you focus on speed, because the Kinsects are not that fast, and you're going to find it much easier to aim and get the colors that you want if you're using speed. Let's go ahead and let's take advantage of the super high grade one that we have. And these. There we go. Okay, we have now leveled up a stat 3 times. So if you notice, speed is now level 4 and everything now is grayed out, which means we need to go upgrade our Kinsect. So if you go back out this menu and back out one more time, go to this one and you'll notice now it's available. Let's go ahead and unlock it. Now, one note is I call this the base Kinsect. There's nothing special about it. The base Kinsect exists for every single level all the way up to the max level 8. The only reason why it's there is because you need to unlock these bugs. 3 of them, which is the base power, the base weight, and the base speed bugs, unlock at level 3, and the best bug in the game, which we're going to make, unlocks at level 6, and that's the balance bug. So let's go ahead and level up our Kinsect, and you notice now we need to level up some more. So let's go back. Let's go put some more speed because speed is always good early in the game. And then for demonstration purposes, I'm going to stop at level 6 for speed and move on to the other ones, because in order to make the balance bug, we need level 6 in all 3 stats. Now, one really great thing you're going to notice right here is that no matter what you do, it only affects that one stat. Back in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, when you use power, it increased power but decreased another stat, and it was kind of like a math and puzzle game. They've completely gotten rid of that now, and you can then level up without any stress. Okay, we are now at level 3, and if you notice, all the different base bugs, the 3 of them have unlocked. Now, when you move over to a new base bug, it's a permanent move. You can't go back, so I highly recommend you don't. Now, it's also a lateral move as well. You can do it without leveling up. So if you notice, right now we have 3 in speed, so we're able to switch over to the speed bug base if we want to. If we have 3 in weight, we can move over to the weight base. 3 in power, we can move over to power, or we can stay with our vanilla bug and keep leveling up to level 6 and unlock the best bug in the game, which is the balance bug. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and pump weight up to level 6 as well. Gotta level up. If you notice now, because I have 3 in weight, the base weight has also opened up, but we don't want that. Okay, now once we've hit level 6, let's go ahead and start focusing on power, because that is what we need to get up as well. Okay, and a level up here. And we're at level 5, now we're ready for the big level 6 upgrade. So let's go ahead and power up to level 6. You can do this in any order you want. Don't let it bother you that I'm doing it in this order. Okay, now that we've made the jump to level 6, all 4 base bugs are available. Now when I say base bugs, I really only mean for these 3, because after you choose power, there's 2 different type of power bugs that you're going to evolve to. Once you choose weight, there's 2 specialized weight ones that you're going to use, and so forth for the speed type. However, with the balance bug, there's only 1 type. Once you make this upgrade, congratulations, you have the best Kinsect in the game. You can then spend the rest of your 3 level ups to boost any stat that you wish, whether it's power because you want to do damage, speed because you want to have a faster bug, or stamina or weight because you want to send out the bug more. It doesn't matter. That's the end of the recipe. So let's go ahead and switch over to the balance bug. If you notice now, we only have the level up option because we've now made the jump. Okay, one major thing to note here is that once you make your jump from level 7 to the final level 8, it will ask for a rare item. Let's go ahead and upgrade here. I really like speed, so I like to pump it in there. Okay, so when you do your final upgrade for your Kinsect, it will ask for this purple item. What that is a ferocious wyvern bone. You can get that from fighting an online ferocious Yankutku. There's some other monsters that give it, but Yankutku is definitely the easiest one to get it from. Go ahead and pay that, and if you notice, it's now grayed out. We are at our level max. Now once you hit level max, they do give you the opportunity to level up 3 more times. So I recommend that you pump in for, make sure you have enough speed, but then after that, go ahead and do power or weight. Generally, 100 weight will allow you to call out your insect, I think about 9 times, which should be enough. So I'm going to go ahead and make the bug how I like to make it, which is 160 speed, 100 weight, and 99 power. And there you go, that is how you make the balance insect, and that's how you level it up to its max. Okay, now let's go back for a second and see what it looks like when we upgrade to a power base, which it's going to work the same for weight and speed. So you guys can see how it goes with going to a new base and then selecting one of two final bugs. So once we make the jump into power, you'll notice that level 6 is when the final two powers open up as well. So let's go ahead and get to level 6. Okay, now we've made our level 6 upgrade and you'll see that the final two power bugs are now available to make. The first one requires level 10 in power in order to make, and the other one has some wonky requirements, which I'll show you in a slide. Now you can stick with the base. For example, I want to open him up but I don't have enough weight. So what you do is you continue on with your base until you have enough requirements, then you make the switch. Okay, now let's take a look at all 7 final Kinsects in the game, what they do so that you know all your options, and also this will help me explain a little bit why I think that the balance bug is the way to go. So first up is the power line. So the left side here, really all it does is just increase your base bug so that it has a little bit more extra power. So 10% power minus 10% weight. You do get less flying distance, so that's one thing you have to consider. And it also boosts your extract skill. So when you grab red, instead of increasing your attack by +5, it will now increase it by +10. Now the final two power bugs at level 6 that you want to go for, the first one requires level 10 in power for your stats. It gives you +20% power, minus 10% weight. It still has the flying distance down, but it adds in fast charge. So this is for really sending out the bug a lot and doing damage with it. It has the nice red effect up, which raises it from +5 to +15. And then it also increases the duration of red from 60 seconds to 72. So this means if you have a double up, and normally the white will last for 90 seconds, and your power will run out after 60, your power now will last a little bit longer, which is nice. And the final power bug, I have to admit, I don't really understand why anybody would want to use it. What it does is it still has the +20 power, 10% down of weight. It has some really wonky requirements like level 3 power, level 5 weight, and level 4 in speed. And instead of having red effect up large, it has red duration up large. Weird. Okay, here is our base weight one. So the weight is the same thing, it's just adding 10% weight minus 10% speed. It increases the effect of the green extract by just a little bit, and it also increases your defense boost from +5 to 10. When you go to your final weight bugs, the first one and the second one both will give you weight +20% and minus 10% speed, but the first bug is pretty interesting. So the green effect up small is the same thing as it had on the regular base bug, but it has orange effect up large. So when you grab orange, instead of getting a +5 defense, you get +15, and just by grabbing orange alone without having to grab white, you get natural earplugs. I really don't see the point of this because you're going to get white easily anyways, so having white and orange to get the earplugs is not really a big deal. And the final second weight has some wonky requirements as well. Level 4 power, level 3 weight, level 5 speed. It does also decrease your flying distance down, which sucks, but it does have the green effect up large, so I guess if you're really good at grabbing green and you get hit a lot, maybe this is a nice one, I don't know. And it does increase the duration of your orange from 45 seconds to 60. And finally, here are the speed bugs. So the left speed is your base. This is just 10% speed, 10% less in power, and it increases the distance in which your bug flies. Now these skills are a little weird, so they take some explanation. This base one has white effect up small, which when you grab white in this game, instead of just moving faster and jumping higher, you also get an affinity boost. So instead of a 10% affinity boost, you get 15%. It also increases your defense when you have a double up with orange, which is +6%, and a +8% of defense when you have a triple up. Now the speed one, which is your first one that requires level 10 in speed in order to jump to, will add in the fast charge, which is nice, and then it has white effect up large. So by grabbing white, it will raise your infinity to 30%, not 10%, which is really great, and that affects even triple up as well. White and orange will still give you 6% and triple gives you 8%. And then it has this thing called the double up extender. This thing is really weird. So what it is when you're in the middle of a double up, let's say red and white, and then you grab red again, during the double up, it'll extend the red by 20 seconds. or whatever color it was in the double up. I don't think it's that. It's not just taking a double up and extending it, so it's not that powerful. Now, one thing to note is through my testing, I discovered that the speed 1 bug, when you do a triple up, you don't get the attack boost that you get with the normal balance type, so there's some hidden demerits to some of these bugs that we're not aware of. Last but not least, we have speed 2, which has, again, wonky requirements, level 5 in power, 4 in weight, and 3 in speed. This one is a little interesting though, in that the stat bonus it gives is elemental damage plus 20%. So I guess if you're using and this is the elemental damage of the Kinsect, not you. So I guess if you're using your bug and spamming it left and right and trying to do elemental damage, this is what you would use. It doesn't have the double up extender, it only has wide effect up small, so I really don't see this being much of a choice. Then finally, here is the balanced Kinsect, which I showed you how to make, and this is arguably the best one in the game. It requires only level 6 in power, weight, and speed, and you can grab that at any time past level 6. For stats, it gives you plus 5% on all 3 of them, which is nice. And for the skills, it gives you triple extender, so your triple up lasts 90 seconds instead of 60, which is crazy. And if you're hunting with other glaive users, that has another interesting skill called wide range. And that means that if you grab, let's say, an orange extract, and there's other glaive users with you in the same area, they will get the orange just like you did. Now, I don't know how many times you're going to be hunting with other glaive users, but when you are, this is definitely a nice little boost. One note is that you'll still see the effect happen for all the other hunters. So if you grab red, everyone else turns red, but they're not getting an attack up boost, so don't be fooled. However, the green does affect everybody, so if you grab green, everyone will get a small heal. Okay, and to finish off the tutorial, I want to cover really quickly the elemental nectars and how those things work as well. Okay, one final note that I want to go over is the elemental nectars. Now, this isn't a very big deal in the game, so I don't think you need to care too much about it. But it is nice to know that you can add an element to your Kinsect so that you can do some slightly more damage, especially if you're using a power type and using your bug aggressively. So if you go down here, remember this top option was for growth, this bottom option is for elemental properties. And here you have your list of 5 different nectars. You have the fire, water, thunder, ice, and dragon. Now, similarly to the regular nectar for growth, you can use either the super extract or even, I think, some burnt meat to create some interesting new variations on the different elemental ones that will raise your power in various ways. I'm not going to cover this in depth because I don't think it's that important, but go ahead and play around with it if you like. Now, a Kinsect can have up to 2 elements at once, so let's go ahead and make this a fire one and a dragon one. So if we pump up the fire here, you'll notice now at the very top, it is now turned into a fire type bug. If we go ahead and start adding in dragon, it's now fire and dragon. So it does both of the elemental damages, which is really nice. It's a nice little addition system. It's not killer, but it's definitely fun. For example, if you look at the bug that I just did in here, he's got fire 7 and dragon 2. So it's a nice little addition that you can add up. Additionally, the trader offers a special type of nectar that will reset all the elemental attributes of your bug, so if you really want to customize it again, you can do that, but you cannot redo any of the growth. If you make the wrong bug, you're going to have to go and make another glaive and redo it from scratch. Luckily, again, they've made it so that's really not that easy to screw up. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth look at Kinsects and how they work in Monster Hunter Cross. Thanks for watching the long video. I know it's been a little long. But hopefully you guys pick up Glaive. It's just as good as it was in the past games. I really enjoy it, especially the guild style, the aerial style are really fun. Striker's a little weird, and Bushido is nice, but takes some getting used to. But look forward to my tutorial on that weapon when that time comes. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy hunting.